Hello everyone, welcome back. So today I'll be doing a bit of a resumption to my other series that I made, where I did Bond Only series. So last time I did Bond Only was like a while back, and I decided to make a season 2. Oh. So I did this 3 months ago, and I felt like it was a good idea to resume the challenge just to go ahead and try to beat my record. I think my record last time was $20 million, so my objective in this video is over the next few episodes I'm going to make these streams. I'm hoping that by then I'll hopefully have a upgrade by then and be able to beat my record, trying out some new strategies that I did. Yep. And so you guys might be curious, like, where am I, where I've been up to, and everything. Well, I've been a bit kind of busy with work and having a little bit of problems, personal problems. So hence why I didn't make a video yesterday. I was a little bit bummed out by it, and also I was also not in the mood to really play Wall Street Raider at the moment. But like, I'm just taking a bit of a break from the game, so I decide, hey, it's a good idea now to go ahead and play up some Speculator. So we got my character, Canadian Investor. Let me zoom it in. I think that'll be helpful. And then we can see right here, I'm Canadian Investor and everything. And we're going to go ahead and start the game with 10 different robots. And we're going to 1v1 me. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to beat them with bonds, because bonds are just basically a debt instrument. And like, they're not as good. They're not, they got different purposes and everything. So like, I'm thinking about basically just doing a bunch of bonds and trying out different strategies in this series. And also I feel like it would just be a lot more relaxed and faster paced than my other videos that I make. So you can see right here we have the game, and we can do streaming commodities and that. So I usually like to streaming quotes is very, very helpful in this game, just because it's helpful if you're doing individual stocks or ETFs or anything in nature. But generally, I consider streaming quotes as not very, very necessary, because we're going to be doing bonds only, so I don't really care about what the price is, because with a bond, you're buying a fixed income instrument. So I find that kind of interesting, whereas we're going to get like almost guaranteed our money back. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the series. I just decided to get started with episode 1 today. So we have right here, we start off with $100,000 cash. And now we gotta wait a few more days for our brokerage account to get approved, which is pretty interesting. And so we can see right now that we cannot buy in bonds, sadly. But we're just going to wait a few days. So I'm going to put the speed at 99 and then just play it the way I usually do. So right here. So we got our brokerage account. We have no criminal records, etc. So that's awesome. Nothing serious. That's funny. Okay, so we start off with $100,000. So right now, I feel like it would just be a fun time to try out different strategies. So today I'm going to go through a bit of some strategies that I do whenever it comes to this game. And this game can be somewhat replicated to real life, but also at the same time, I'm not a big fan of bonds IRL, but they are still pretty great investments. So this series might be pretty helpful in a few ways. So a strategy that I like to do in this series, and I did a lot last season. Last season I did a lot of this thing called bond laddering. So I think Wall Street Raider. So we got right here. You can see bond laddering is an investment strategy that involves buying bonds with different maturity dates so that the investor can respond relatively quick to changes in interest rates. It reduces the reinvestment risk of a bond associated with rolling over bonds into similar income products at once. So with investment risk, if you go over here, it's just basically reinvestment risk is basically being able to get for a bond for lesser than like a lower interest rate, I believe. Such coupons. Yep. So it's just like basically today we're gonna be doing bond iron, where I'm just gonna buy it like whenever I think interest rates are gonna go up. I'm gonna do short-term bonds basically, and over the majority of the time I might just do bond iron altogether. But most of my strategy last season was literally, if I can get a notepad out and just type it down. My strategy last season. My first strategy was bond ladder. I wouldn't even really call it that bond iron, but I like to call it because it's simple. But basically, I bought short-term bonds when rates were low because I had the anticipation that in the future they're going to raise up rates. So I wanted to buy up short-term bonds. That way I can get my money back ASAP, and then I can basically be able to invest at the higher rate. So for example, if I bought like a 1-year bond and I think over the next year, for example, I think rates are going to go up, then I'll basically do a bond then. Then I'll do a 1-year bond and everything else. And I would also, whenever I thought rates were going to go down, I bought long-term bonds and everything. So like most of this is just theory, but like everything else. Before I get into the investments and everything, though, I should say that this video isn't really to be taken as financial advice or anything, because it's a lot of theory and everything, and some of this stuff might not work in practice, and so you should make sure you make your own decisions before you do anything. So we have right here, got our bond iron, and we got our reinvestment risk. So those are your two pretty important terminologies. So last season I did bond iron, and I also bought long duration. So last season I bought a lot of long duration bonds, which are basically your very, very long-term bonds where they have a lot of duration risks. That means basically they have a lot of volatility. I don't know how to spell volatility at the moment. But basically they have a lot of volatility. They can go up and down in price a lot. And so with them going up